On today's show, Steph Curry leads Team USA to the gold over France with a flurry of three-pointers in the closing minutes. Plus, are the Warriors wasting another year of Steph Curry's prime by not going all in when he can still play at this level? We're going to tackle it all on today's Locked On NBA.
You are Locked On NBA, your daily NBA podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up and welcome to another edition of Locked On NBA, the biggest stories with the local experts. I'm your host, Gatlin, also host of Locked On Rockets right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Now, today's episode is brought to you by eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything that you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and so much more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. Joining us now is the host of Locked On Warriors, Chuck Walter. You can track down wherever you listen to your podcasts or on YouTube. Just search Locked On Warriors. Here to discuss Team USA bringing home yet another gold medal behind a lot of help and an impressive performance from none other than Steph Curry. 24 points, 8 of 13 from downtown to go along with 5 assists in the gold medal game against France. Chuck, an all-time Olympic performance in what was an all-time Olympic game, in all honesty, with just the intensity on both sides and then it kind of coming down to the wire a little bit there, right? France threw a lot at Team USA, and then Steph Curry with the just barrage of triples to put this game away. 4 3-pointers in the final. It was like 2 minutes and 48 seconds, something like that. Just under 3 minutes, right? Starts just nailing them. Hits the first one, then the next one. Then it's the third one that was basically like that was the dagger. And then he was like, no, I'm not done there. Hits the fourth one and then hits him with the night gesture. It was insane to witness.
This is how it feels rooting for Steph Curry. Rest of the world that doesn't get the opportunity. The rest of the world that, may not be on Pacific time and have the chance to see him ball out late night. Like, this is what you see on a consistent basis. We've seen it in big games the last few years. Game 4 in Boston, where he had 43. Game 7 the following year in Sacramento, where he had 50. This is what he does. But it's like, the basketball was incredible. You got to give a shout out to the entire world. All these other countries have gotten so much better at basketball. World's really coming. There's so many stars from other teams that it's really fun watching these world games now. But this is how it feels to root for him, man. 17 threes in 2 games. Pictures that in the semifinal game, I thought the picture of Curry jumping with the flags and the stars and the stripes in the background would be kind of the one we remembered most. And we got a couple in the championship game. We got the night, and we got him hitting a 3 over Wembanyama's outstretched arms that are about, with his 12-foot wingspan or whatever it is. And, he gave us the posters forever, man. I know he didn't win MVP. Well, LeBron, shout out to him. He's a machine. Curry's not so bad himself.
I know we talk about it. Like, first, just one point here is, you talk about other people being able to appreciate Steph Curry. I will say, obviously you can see the Rockets stuff hanging out behind me. I'm the host of Locked On Rockets. Rockets were on the receiving end of a lot of pain from Steph Curry for a few years there. One of the benefits, and I hope I don't anger Rockets fans saying this, but one of the benefits is just a pure basketball fan, right? Is the last few years, the Rockets being bad and, going through the rebuild and everything, and being able to take a step away, not having a horse in the race, essentially, just being able to appreciate the greatness, right? Just seeing like he is the greatest shooter of all time. Like, he made like 3-pointers as cool as like poster dunks. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, seeing there's that one shot of like him pulling up from 3 in the corner and all his teammates, on Team USA reacting behind him, just so hyped. They're all gassing him up and everything. It's
and he turned
cool
around early.
Yeah,
he turned
really
around early in
Yeah.
that, and you just see it fall through the hoop as he's looking the other way. And yeah, when he heats up, we call it in the Bay Area Curry flurry, and you get one of those. It's special to watch in person, man. Like I remember Boston sitting there. Warriors were down like 15 when I got back from my live shots, because for whatever reason they gave us a 6:30 live shot with like a 6:00 game start. And it's like, who's watching the local news right now for Warriors coverage? Like, let me sit in and watch the game. And I get back in there and the Warriors are toast. They're down 2-1 in the series. And like he did a similar thing like that. But what people don't give him credit for is we always hear best shooter. He's the best at getting open I think we've ever seen. Like off the ball, the way that he moves, the ability to, there were a couple times down the stretch where he get the ball, he does that sideways pass, the hook pass, which sometimes gets intercepted or doesn't go well. That's where he has a lot of his turnovers, but he executes it perfectly to where like that last play, that was a heat check shot. He was taking that shot no matter what, because there were players wide open on the other side. Yeah. It was LeBron and KD were sitting over there. Any other time and situation in history, you're like, what are you doing not passing off the rock there? But that's just a heat check moment where Steph Curry hits that shot over and over. And you saw it 2 straight games with him heat up. I mean, 17 of, I think, 24 from 3-point range in 2 games, 60 points. That's 30 per game. I mean, enough said. The guy's one of the all-time greats. That's it.
Better performance. Now, obviously, the stakes were a little bit higher in the gold medal game for sure, but better performance. The gold medal performance, the 24, 8 of 13, or the 36 he had against Serbia, and the come from behind win to stay in contention.
They were both nice. Serbia's were obviously more, but some of them were just due to him being wide open. A few were, off his own moves where he had great pump fakes and let people fly by for a wide open 3, or kind of off the dribble, did some dancing and found a way to get the shot off there. But down the stretch against France, I mean, those were difficult shots, high pressure shots. And that fourth was definitely the shot of the tournament. And the fact that I think he did it in 4 straight possessions, I'd have to look at the game cast, but it was like bam, 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 bam. And I remember seeing the YouTube video afterwards, and he hit the first one with like 201 to go in the game. And you're like, okay. And the next thing you know, hits another one like 145, then another one like 105, then another one at like 30 seconds. And you're just like, I think it's so many possessions right in a row, and it's because France kept going down and they were hitting buckets themselves. Wemby would hit a 3 and Curry would come right back and knock them down. Like France didn't roll over. They gave US every punch they could. And it was just Steph every single time. Like, oh yeah, you're going to pull it back within 3. You're going to pull it within 4. Well, bang, it's back to 7. See ya in your own gym. You're gone. One of these. So it was great.
And look, you said it yourself, right? The rest of the world's catching up, and if France is going to be right back there with them in 2028 with Wembanyama. It's going to be a lot of fun witnessing what these teams look like 4 years from now. But Chuck, when you see a performance from Steph Curry like this one, like the one he had against Serbia, how can the Warriors not want to go all in on giving him like another legitimate shot to win a title, right? We know there were the rumors surrounding Lauri Markkanen and the holdups on not wanting to get rid of some of the younger guys, Podziemski, Kuminga. Like, does it almost feel like a repeat of when the Warriors didn't trade that top pick and instead drafted Wiseman, right? They could have cashed in that pick, gotten some more help for Steph, and made a legit run instead of kind of burning that year, right, where they make it to the play-in turn. Like, what do you like? How do you judge this from the Warriors' perspective?
Well, with the offseason, there's so much of the agent game and, sources revealing all these different quotes, these leaks, whatever, that makes it look like maybe it was closer to the finish line than it actually was. Based off everything we've heard, it does sound like the Podziemski and the picks offer could have potentially got it done. But do we actually believe that? Was it the Podziemski, the Kuminga, the Moody, and all the picks that was kind of like, hey, you give us all this, and we'll think about it. Otherwise, we want to keep Lowry. We have no reason to, get rid of him. And that was kind of the conversation. We'll think about Podziemski if you give us, just Podziemski in the picks. And it kind of ended there until it was like, hey, what's going on? We're going to keep him, actually. He wants to stay here. He's happy. So you never really know what's going on behind the scenes, but they do seem like they are a player away. at this point in time, unless it's a combination of all the young players taking a massive leap at once, Wiggins getting back to form, and Steph, Draymond, and the rest of the crew, the role players having solid seasons, Melton staying healthy, that sort of thing, for them to really be any sort of a contender. That's kind of why the X factor to me is like a Jonathan Kuminga, and why they probably didn't want to throw him in any deals. Let's see what he can still give us. But yeah, it does seem like in that regard, it's a little disappointing to go into a season and feel like they're not serious championship contenders. But I think a lot of Warriors fans felt that way in 21-22, and they won a title. So as long as you have 30, or number 4 in the Olympics, you've got a chance to win it all.
Last thing I got for you here, and look, this Olympics gave people one thing that a lot of people have been dreaming of for a long time, which is the Steph Curry, LeBron James team up, right? Not some, BS in an all-star game, right? Like a legit team up, high stakes competition. I mean, it makes you wonder what it would look like if those two could find a way to each other in the NBA, either LeBron in the Bay or Steph Curry finding his way to a LeBron James led team. Maybe it's the Lakers, maybe it's somewhere else. You think we might see a team up between these two before it's all said and done and they hang up the sneakers?
I feel like destiny has kind of always pointed to it, but there were, some opportunities to have some talks last year and it didn't get done. And now there's the whole Bronny factor to where you don't think LeBron's going to leave the Lakers. Could Curry potentially ever be on the market to go to the Warriors? Would he ever want to, I don't want to say tarnish a legacy, but how would Warriors fans react if he did want to go to the Lakers, that sort of thing? That would be super disappointing. So there's so many different like nuances that go into it, but it does feel like, that reunion is inevitable to happen someday, somewhere, sometime. But I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I'll tell you what, just as a pure hoops fan, I would love to see it take place. I don't know, again, all the logistics, all the different things you got to factor in, cap logistics and obviously narratives, things like legacy, right? Does Curry want to be, part of me feels like he wants to be a Warriors lifer, right? Like he wants to retire a Warrior. So, is there any chance of him actually being traded or moving somewhere else? I feel like he's
financials would make it hard. Financials would make that hard to happen, right?
I also feel like he's earned enough grace though. Like if he came to the organization was like, hey, I want to go do this because you guys are like not putting me in the, I've still got some juice left in the tank. You guys aren't putting me in a position where I feel like I can win a title. Maybe he's got a little cachet to be like, I want to leave, guys, but like we're leaving on good terms and we're going to send you to where we want to send you because you've done so much for us. You greatest player ever, all those kinds of things. But who knows what ultimately happens? What does the future hold for Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors? You're going to have us covered for all that and so much more over at Locked On Warriors. Chuck, thanks for stopping by Locked On NBA with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.